Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. This is your AstroShaman, Pernell Bobby, empowering a world of harmony, leveraging astrology to do it. And I want to let you know up front that every Sunday, on the first and third Sunday of every month, we meet up, my group Backdoor, for the Astro Divinity memberships, where you are not only learning astrology, but you're understanding astrosexuality, how to work with the signs, as they have 6 counterparts of feminine, 6 counterparts of masculine energy, but they all are different masculine, different feminine. So check that out. The next one's coming this Sunday on December 4th, at least from this video. Today, I want you to hit the thumbs up early as we get into the Mars Trine Saturn video and what that means and why this is the true beginning of freedom and being able to embrace freedom with the law of grace. Off the rip, I just want to give you some visuals about some energies that is here. This is really supporting the Sag energy. I'm going to show you what that means in a moment, but I want to give you some time to be able to just dissect it for yourself. Those are the only 2 cards I got today. Hit the thumbs up early, okay? Sag energy, baby. Mercury is in Sag. Venus is in Sag. The Sun is in Sagittarius. Eventually that energy very, very soon, which I believe it has begun. It has definitely begun. Is now in opposition. All the Sagittarius energy is in opposition to Mars and Gemini. It is important to note up front that Mars is in retrograde. Now, before I even move any forward, like this will say that communications that we are having, we have already had. Skills that we have been honing and sharpening, we have already sharpened. But now it's time for us to see the truth, the third eye truth, not with our physical eyes, but our third eye. It's time to see the truth of the simple facts of what we have learned, Gemini, of the skills we have sharpened, Gemini, of the objective truths that have been revealed to us in opposition to media outlets, Gemini, squaring Mars and Gemini, squaring tension being derived from Neptune in Pisces, Jupiter in Pisces. These energies were squaring, very clearly. Neptune more, Jupiter less. Jupiter's not squaring, but Neptune for sure. And this is where in media you see public images, public icons, your favorite celebrities, they have been called out on the world stage. And there's a lot of foolery and a lot of people trying to backtrack their statements. Mars and media, Gemini, retrograded. The reason is we had that first on the 18th of this month, which is what, 10 days ago, November 18th, we had the square between Mars and Gemini, Neptune and Pisces. But what was particular about this is the moon was in Virgo. And Virgo was bringing us back to like what, September or so, maybe a little sooner, September or so, into August. And it was already showing us the analytical data and the facts about who am I and how do I want to show up and be remembered as a legacy in the world. And what this has done is it said, are you going to show up in the vibration and frequency of love for how you want to be remembered, or are you going to show up for how are you willing to twist when the media would turn you on your bum? We're going to say bum. Turn you on your okay? You've met a lot of people, one-on-one relationships that have been able to help you cut through those illusions around the more fairy tale fanatical version of how you want to be remembered. Maybe you wanted to just be famous just to be famous, but you didn't take the time to consider the truths and the facts about what do you want to be famous for? What would you like to be known for? And the Sagittarius energy here, Mars trining, okay, Saturn is now removing certain blocks, removing certain limitations. Saturn is no longer in retrograde. Jupiter is no longer in retrograde. And Jupiter has much governance over Sagittarius energy, okay, as the masculine figure, the Zeus figurehead in Jupiter. And this is about how will we not only expand Jupiter, how will we not only overcome social injustices, okay, especially even through media. It is a social injustice to take back the amendment of freedom of speech, but this is what has been shown and revealed. So Sagittarius energy is here to actually fight back. Sagittarius energy is the energy of, like, I don't want to say Moses, but yes, Moses as well, freeing people, freeing the Jews, freeing the Hebrew, but it goes above and beyond that. Moses is not who I was thinking about, but it's in the Hebrew Jewish culture, and it's the 12 zodiac signs. One of them is Benjamin. It's like Benjamin. I forget the Hebrew name, excuse me, but Benjamin had the arrow. He was the archer. He was Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is the only zodiac with a weapon. So what's happening here? Sagittarius is here to free people by force if necessary, but preferably through the piece of believe in my faith, believe in what I say, believe in what I publish, believe in what I write. Whether it's the Bible, okay, writing the Bible out, this is a Sagittarius Gemini axis. And so in this instance, it doesn't have to necessarily be a Bible, but we're receiving faith-based information even in our one-on-one relationships, because Mars currently right now is in 19 degrees, and this is the degree of one-on-one relationships in a harmonious Libran type fashion, a diplomatic, posh type fashion, being able to actually state your case and weigh your heart versus your mind, and be able to do so with truth and with the assistance of the third eye, and with the assistance third eye is Sagittarius, but also with the assistance of Neptune, the assistance of love, the assistance of spirituality, okay, the energy of Hera and Zeus coming together. Now Pisces is Hera, Zeus is Jupiter. So basically, yeah, Sagittarius as well. So those energies coming together, the masculine and the feminine, this equates to divinity. 1, 2, 3, divinity. What this energy is saying off the rip, this gold orange dragon from Arcturus, it opens you to the knowledge of the golden age. Okay, not only that, but it carries the light of the future, Sagittarius, being a guiding Sagittarius light. When a spiritual army of these dragons moves to a place, they stimulate great evolutionary change in all that they touch. They are flowing into the earth now to help us during these exciting years ahead. So, like I said, really right here, the spiritual army. Okay, this is again like that. Moses didn't walk alone. Moses is who we remember, but Moses had the faith of the people who trusted him to free them and lead them to freedom. This is Sagittarius. This is Buddha type energy. This is Christ type energy. Look, Jesus type energy. Even this card here. Secondly, it's the same thing. It says build your light body and accelerate your ascension. But, you know, it says literally the unicorns added to this light, as did Buddha, as did the Christ, as did the 12 rays, and many more. So these are talking about all ascended masters. Kuan Yin, you know, you can go on with it. Okay, Saint Germain, all right, hopping through portals. Sagittarius is portal energy. So Mars trining Saturn is saying we are finally cutting through the limitations that have been placed upon us. We are looking at these limitations with a certain sense of realism, and we are, 3 birds up above, now officially reaching justice. Justice, the freedom of the people, the freedom of those enslaved, the freedom of those needing to extend beyond their boundaries. And that's what Sagittarius is all about, going beyond the boundaries. And mind you, Saturn in Aquarius is saying, look, Aquarius is saying everybody that gets out of the boundaries, everybody that breaks the tradition, you know, this is the boundary, I'm going to let y'all go this far. So Sag is still rising, Sag, Capricorn, and then Aquarius. So Sag is still rising. So it's not until about late January, February where you're finally going to see that you can't go beyond this secondary boundary outside the initial boundary. Okay? So the initial boundary is your human limitations. The fact that you need to eat, you need to sleep, okay? You need to have sex, you need to eat food, all right? You need to be intimate with others. You need to take care of yourself. You need to nurture yourself. You need to relate to other people and be social. All right. You need to shine and really be confident individual. You need to express your emotions and realize what emotions are valid but also repressed. That's all what's happening. And Sagittarius is like, look, we're going to break through all of that. Number 9, and we're going to do it through purpose. It hit it before I was ready to hit it. We only could do that through purpose. We only could do that through faith. We only could do that by believing in a certain sense of spirit that's higher than a spiritual presence or understanding of something greater than who and what we are. This is what gets us through the suffering. This is what allows us to add enough pressure. Sagittarius is about the ball of the pressure. Okay, Mars is just the final energy that's bringing the final slash. That's cutting through that pressure, cutting through the limits, cutting through the boundaries, cutting through the people holding you back. And if I give examples of something like this, like today when I woke up, it said something like, look, you can't collect any more money until you add a new website. So this is a part of me cutting my website, saving about $1,200 or so. And I gave this example. Saving about $200 or so and realizing, okay, here's what I got to basically pay the middleman in order to cut this fee. And the fee is drastically, I mean, Virgo would be something like 79% more efficient, okay? But this is Sag season. It's more like big picture. It's like, look, this just works. It's just better. Big picture, it's where I'm going, even if it hurts now. So it's like, within that, like, there are certain cuts that are being taken out of checks, for example, yet and still those cuts are so much less in the long run in the big picture than what it would have been, what it would have cost. So, you know, cutting through Mars in this trine energy is saying, look, now what you've been struggling to do 2 months ago to 3 months ago up until now, because certain agencies, certain governments, certain regulating bodies have literally stopped you, literally put you on a halt, literally put you on a pause and said, look, you have to learn this lesson, because this is what Saturn does. It teaches us. It's the teacher. It teaches us lessons. It teaches us how to manage and deal with our karma. Karma is the actions that we put forward and the seeds that we sow, the repercussions or the consequences or the gifts or the benefits or the rewards, all of that in a timely manner. A manner that actually teaches you how to do and live and be who you are and what you are in integrity, especially as you align with faith. Okay, so this Mars trining energy, okay, to Saturn at 19 degrees is saying you're officially going to start pushing forward business relationships that have been on hold. There's been a lot of people you were trying to connect with and you weren't able to connect with them. You saw them early on a big picture, like, yo, this is who I want to work with. Like, this person's going to really be truly in alignment. They're going to be with an integrity with who and what I am. And I've been having to pause to make sure that I do these relations, these new ideas, this new seasonal push of friendships and connections and love. I need to make sure I do it in alignment with my faith and with my belief. Now, for each rising sign, this will change, right? This will definitely shift without a doubt. But what's critical is we've had the Chiron and Aries energy healing us. The wounded healer, Aries and Chiron, has been healing and allowing us to surrender our ego at a level that, from a third eye, from a big picture vision, it has just not been necessary. And this needed to happen before these connections and relationships began to form. Because now that this has happened, you're able to connect with other people who have the same vision, the same alignment of faith and beliefs that you have. A certain amount of pressure that they face that you've also faced, but you came from two different worlds, and now you're able to relate. And you're willing and able and ready to see each other. The big difference now is you had to go through that first before this Mars trining, before you started going up against the big dogs, before you started Saturn in Aquarius, Pluto in Aquarius coming in March next year, banding together with the gang, with the people who are going to support you at the highest levels, on the level of and the basis of your hopes and your dreams aligning with their actions and their ability to cut through limitations in a realistic manner, not fantasy, so that divine justice can actually be delivered. And that's that Libran energy at the end. Today is the Aquarius moon as I record this, and really it's at 15 degrees right now to go over 4 degrees. When that happens, you'll understand your challenges, your desafíos en español, and really at that point, you're going to be able to align with, here's officially how I'm going to start to be a rebel with a cause. And that's what all of this is about. It's about recognizing, okay, great, you're a rebel. You like to, break through the rules. You like to break through the restrictions. But for what reason exactly? And then, I had to learn and understand and embrace that I was breaking rules just because I like to break rules. I was breaking rules because they told me I couldn't break them. I was breaking rules just because it was different than what everybody else was doing, aka Aquarius, being eccentric, being irreverent. But that's not enough, and that's not within integrity, and that's not something that's going to be sustainable. When you align with your blessings, your faith, from a sustainable standpoint, aka meaning from a faith-based standpoint, this Mars trining energy on Saturn is saying, when you finally cut through the limitations now, if you do it with integrity, it will last. And you're able to do this with logic. You're able to take what has been given to you from an intuitive standpoint, the Neptune in Pisces, okay, and the squaring energy that's coming up with it, and all that Sag, you're going to more and more see between Neptune in Pisces and Venus in Sag, Mars in Sag, you're going to more and more see that you can only align right now in these stages with where you're going, the direction of, and the reason why, which is more important, why you're deciding to align with surrendering the karma that has plagued you at an egoic level, but not supported you at a spirit, at a soul level, because we were out of integrity. This energy is going to square off there, and it's going to show us lessons that we've already learned during Scorpio season. We already saw the deep truths. And it's going to say, before you finally, in Capricorn season, evolve and ground at the highest level, this new earth, this new abundance that you're pushing forward, tremendously expansive abundance every year around this time. Okay? Especially if we're not spending the money on Christmas gifts mindlessly and spending outside of our means and focus on external validation. That's what Capricorn season will show you. You're going to get the money by then. You're going to get the dough. You're going to have the resource. You're going to have the home. You're going to have whatever it is you do that relates to you. You're going to have the things, the people, the places, and the things that are necessary. But we're having to align with a faith base so that when we do this, we do this in integrity based off of our beliefs in God, our belief in love, our belief in truth, our belief in integrity, keywords of Aquarius, Pisces, Gemini, Sagittarius, our belief in freedom, expanding beyond the boundaries, but focusing on temperance and knowing that to go too far, to take it a step outside of abundance, outside of abundance is abundance, outside of abundance is just not necessary. And it's the reminder of the lion being the king of the jungle. And the lion, partially the reason why the lion is the king or the queen is because they do not take outside of their means. They could. Theoretically, there would be no consequence. But by them focusing on only what is necessary, eating what is necessary, they maintain peace and respect as the king of the jungle, when they could take so much more. It's about a temperance. So this trine is saying, like, you know, you're finally able to cut through limitations, okay, with logic, with intelligence, with a creative maneuver, getting around certain restrictions that previously were invented. Okay, if I give you an example, I've been looking to buy Astro Gold so I can stream charts on this, okay, live, without ads and all the other stuff that the internet charts give me, whether it's AstroSeek or Astro.com. And now it's like, okay, good. Mars cutting through the barriers is like, I could screen share my iPad that I'm streaming from to my MacBook. And as I do that, I no longer have ads. I'm only going to show Astro Gold, so I can now pay $24 or $40 for Astro Gold, the application, to show you astrology forecast, instead of $240, $219 that it's going to cost me to do it on the computer. One extra step cutting through until I have the resources. I can go ahead and do the same thing. It is an extra step, but it's about creative genius of being able to Capricorn utilize in the most efficient way what you already have and make it work for you in the best possible way, to expand beyond the boundaries, beyond the limits, beyond the borders, strategically, being wise with our resources, taking less than necessary, but also still having exactly what we deserve and what we're worth. Uranus in Taurus, the Taurus eclipse. So this is what I have. This Mars trine energy, some live examples. This is your AstroShaman, Pernell Bobby. I'm empowering a world of harmony, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, this is my career image, 22 degrees of Neptune in Pisces, switching over and over and over and over and over. How am I aligned with love and less with the ego, less with the mind, more with the generation of my sacral as a generator, as a 5-1 generator, more my sacral energy that says this is where you press go. Prime example, I tried to go live like 4 times for 4 minutes. I lied. For 4 minutes before this, and it didn't work. Internet connection didn't work. This is the video that needed to get put out. Only 20 minutes worth of my time. Capricorn time. And this Pluto in Capricorn is really in the mix. And if I was to help you understand what it was doing, it's just been working with the Neptune in Pisces energy, which is saying, look, like, value your time. You know, value yourself, or value the things that you put out. And that's why I'm telling you every Sunday, okay, on the first and the third Sunday, primarily, bi-weekly, my Astro Divinity group meets up back end, and we meet up again on Sunday. So come definitely join us there. I want to see you. Click the like and the thumbs up button. Check the pinned comments. Check the comments. I'm going to likely premiere this video. Check the comments. And know that I will see you on Sunday, back end. It's only $33 a month at the time being. Until the first 25 members, then it pretty much doubles. So go ahead and be a part of that while it's early. And we already currently have about 7 to 8 members. I think there's more, but 7 to 8 that I remember. And there were more that happened in the meanwhile. Work with what you have, okay? Sagittarius season is really tremendous. What I don't recommend you do is get buck wild like the way people try to make Sagittarius team. Understand that you can align with the more spirit-based, the faith-based energy of Sagittarius, which is tremendously devoted, is tremendously even dogmatic. Okay, it is the dogmatic version of religion, somebody going to church every Sunday. So you have to understand and decide what is your church, and cut out the things that is not your church. When I say church, I mean your habit, your ritual. You have to treat your rituals like a church. If you are doing that right now, if you're focused on spiritual discipline, which Saturn in Capricorn, Saturn in Aquarius is asking for, spiritual discipline with the esoteric information, the alien-like knowledge, astrology being one of them. Aquarius is astrology. If you're disciplining yourself with the flows and the strokes of what astrology is being put out there based off your favorite astrologer, whether it's me or somebody completely different, you're going to really be winning during the season. Congratulations. You deserve it. Drop your shoulders, hit your jaw. Be most authentic to yourself, and do not worry what other people are saying, what other people are doing. Focus on doing and being you. This is your AstroShaman, Pernell Bobby, telling you to come check out every first and third Sunday. Music to my ears, baby. Our Astro Divinity memberships, where we're learning about astrosexuality, masculine and feminine energies of the 6 and the 6 feminine and masculine zodiac signs, as well as astrologos. You've been able to learn how to interpret astrology without me. Totally. As we bring back and restore the power to the people. Thank you. I'll see you soon.